Okay, so today, as we discussed, we are going to understand the basic about the unit test. What is the unit test and why it's needed? What the purpose of that, right? And whenever we are working in a particular applications or a software development life cycle, unit testing one of the component, you can say, not only develop the software but also required some level of unit test. So what is the unit test and how in a Java language we are going to write unit tests? Okay,
Right.
clear.
Yeah.
So first things, whatever we studied, like in a core Java, and we have written lots of uh, programs, maybe Fibonacci number, prime number, even number, odd number, Fibonacci series, right? Yeah, for maybe multi-threading, maybe REST API. We have exposed lots of get endpoint, post endpoint, REST endpoint. Internally, for we have written some codes, right?
Right.
Whatever we are written are developed that as per customer requirement, as per the application need, we have written the business logic. That's as a developer you written, that's good part. Next question, who is going to test? Generally we say, hey developer, you can manually test, or maybe test engineer come and manually test the functionality which was developed by the engineer, right? So this is the one way about the unit testing. Testing means ki whatever the application you develop as a software. Testing means is meet the requirement or not. What the purpose is software build, it's working or not as per expected, right? So generally, for which customer you are building the software, customer going to verify them, customer going to test them. Hey, I'm passing some input, I'm getting some response is logically correct, they have covered all my scenario, right? So generally customer or test engineer going to test each and every functionality, right? That's good part. Later part, maybe you come and change some functionality in the same code base, right? You say, hey, I tested something, change the something code, but customer don't know ki what other component is impacted with these changes. So customer need again test all the functionality it's work properly or not, right? So that will take a time consuming. Unnecessary things you are testing again and again, right? So why not? Whatever the code I am writing, that automatically tested by some application, some code. Why we rely on the tester or customers who test the functionality, right? Unit testing, that means ki whatever the piece of code you written, that piece of code can be tested by automatically, can test by automatically with the different of all input parameters you have to pass, right?
Right.
That is the motive of unit testing, means ki whatever the piece of software, a code I am writing, that can be tested without any human intervention, without any tester. Okay, so that give us one level of confidence that ki whatever we deliver a software package, at least one level of testing already done. Might be customer miss some corner cases, miss some scenario, manual tester might be not testing all the path of the application, right? But if I am writing the unit test, that means ki we have cover all the cases scenario for my class. The unit test is the just purpose of whatever the piece of code you are writing, that is tested by automatic by itself. right?
Right.
And just on the, okay, hey, I want to build this software. At the building the software, I say, hey, run all the test cases. So all the test cases of the related software going to run and report, hey, all four test cases are passed, these four scenario are failing. So before delivering any software, generally, we as a software engineering responsibility to build the package and test all the modules, all the functions, all the methods are working as per expected or not. So is it clear what is unit test? Yes,
So, so this happens after you build something, build the software.
yes, this is the part. Now there are multiple approach. One way I can say yes, one way I can say no, right? Because the different methodology people pass. Someone say, I first develop my software, right? First develop my software, and after that I might write my unit test, right? To test all the functionality work properly, right? This is the one case. And sometime due to the agile methodology, say कि while you developing the software, the engineer who are writing the test cases, what they are doing, right? They are just waiting until someone not completed, then I'm writing the test case, right? So this is the one approach. First, you develop the software. A second approach, no. Why not? It's happened parallelly. Why not happen? Maybe I write first test cases. Okay, because you are developing application on the basis of customer requirement, right? This is the customer requirement one, requirement two, requirement three, requirement four, right?
Right.
One engineer going to develop software all the requirement, right?
Right.
Why not one engineer write all the scenario test cases, right? Hey, the requirement one, I am passing this input, I am expecting this output, right? For this requirement, I passing this input and expecting this output, right?
Right.
So this can be done before as well as I written my all the test cases. Once you develop this software, right? Then I run my test cases, and all my test cases pass. That means this requirement is implemented as per expected, right? Might be some test cases failing, then I complain, hey, developer, can you look this functionality? It is not working as per my expectation, as per my requirement, right? It's clear.
Yeah.
So this approach sometimes TDD, test driven development. That means I am going to writing first my test cases, okay, and all the test cases initially are going to fail because there is no software exists, right? And after that, I am going to develop my software. Once I develop my software and I run my test cases, all test cases must be passed. This approach known as a test driven development. Sometime this terminology also looking some profiles, right? You know, TDD, test driven development approach or methodology, right? So till now, notice whatever we learn, first always we are writing our business logic, right? And once business writing completed, then I am going to test from the main method. Generally, all the code we written are tested from the main method, right? Main method, I call the method and pass the input output, and expecting some kind of response, right? So whatever you are did testing of your method in the main method, okay, the similar things, whatever writing in the main method, I am going to not going to individually test each and every main method, right? Why not write just separate class that is just specific for the testing? They just test all the functions, right?
Right.
So what we are doing now, we are segregating the business logics, the code, and the testing part in the separate. right? And these both concepts are used. I'm not saying the test driven development is a good or bad, or first waterfall life cycle means one known as a waterfall life cycle, right? First requirement analysis, then coding, then development, then testing, right? Testing is
Right.
the last part. This is the generally all the software initially developed, right? First we have to gather the requirement, analysis the requirement, and develop them, and then say, hey, do testing, right? The last
Right.
part. So this is the one approach, waterfall cycle model, right? This is a standard old way style, you can say. But
Right.
not
Right.
due to the agile structures. Generally, we are building our team. That team contain the developer team, that tester team, as well as same side. So whenever requirement come, both software development team analysis and developing for application, and at the same time our test engineer is going to write the test cases. So test engineer are not know what the functionality you are going to write. They know कि this is the requirement. I am going to test this requirement number one. This is my two input. I am expecting this output, right? Requirement number two, this input and this output expecting, right? Requirement number three, requirement four. So this is also good approach at the right uh, of your requirements, both testing and development going. Development is not developing anything. Developer developer is only developing that is the requirement. They should know aware कि hey, my code must be tested by the test engineer, right? With respect to the customer requirements, right? So
Yeah.
different application, different company, projected follow the different methodology. But both are the as per my it's okay. There is no problem, right? You can follow test driven development, or you can follow first implementation, then testing, right? It is okay.
Yeah.
It's clear what is unit testing and why required,
Yeah. So um, you need to. So what I understand is that you develop the software.
right?
Now you check the uh, functionality
Hmm.
in small pieces,
Yes, you are right.
and that has the requirements as well. It's not like random. Like there is a requirements what you need to check.
Yeah, whenever we are going to build our software without any requirement, we are not building software, right?
Right.
First, we need a customer requirement, right? This is a customer requirement. Hey, customer say, I want to such kind of software, right? So they mention some requirement one, requirement two, requirement three, right?
Yeah.
According to the requirement, our software engineering team develop the software, right? The question is that ki whatever the engineering team develop, how we rely ki its work as per my expectation, right?
Hmm.
Some kind of testing required, right?
Right.
Whatever you deliver, as a customer, I given the requirement to you. This is my requirement. Whatever you deliver, how I can ensure that you are delivering as per my requirement. So that means ki our customer going to test your software, right?
Right.
Manually
Yeah.
testing each and every functionality. That's good part. This is the one version you release. They have done all the regression testing, everything, and done. Say, okay, my software is working. I'm expected. Okay, and later part, customer say, hey, this is the some defect. This is some bug. Yeah, this is some new requirement, right? Can we come in the software industry? Always some defect come, some new requirement come. That means your software again required to change something, right? Not the whole, but a specific change required, right? So
Yeah.
whenever you're going to change something here, okay, and again deliver. The question is that again our customer going to verify all the functionality. I customer don't know ki which part you change. Functionality requirement one, requirement two, requirement three, requirement four. Lots of things. Might don't ki which line of code you change here, right? So
Right.
as per the customer, they are going to say, ask, hey, my testing team, can you verify each and every functionality it's work or not, right? Because they
Right.
not realize you have which portion of code you tested, a change or not change, or what the impact of those change, right? So unnecessary, they are going to testing all the functionality, each and every modification, right? So customers say, how we can as a software delivery team say, hey customer, you don't worry. Whatever I am delivering to you, first one level of testing already I did it with my automation test case, with my JUnits, right? The customer gain one level of confidence. Okay, you are delivering these all the tested code I tested. This is my test report. You can check this all the functions, all the input parameter pass, and they are successfully passed, right? You don't ask your test engineer just devote 1 month of time to test the complete function, right? Because all the code written, I am written for each and every module, the test cases. And whenever I am building the software delivering you, I run all the test cases, and this is the test output. You can verify them. The randomly customer can go and test some scenario one, scenario two. If all pass, they are believe okay. That means your test report is expected because I check some scenario, it's working. That means ki all the possible scenario already you're tested by your automation test case. I am believing on your delivery. That means
Right.
unit test case just makes your one level of quality check of your deliver software. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So generally, whenever you are delivering software on the continuous basis per a different versions, a different requirement come, different changes come, at such kind of software, unit test case play a significant role to maintain the quality of your software, right?
Yeah.
If this the times of developing software, maybe a engineer is working, right? And 1 year 2 year later this engineer is left the company, right? B engineer started working, right? Maybe the B engineer do some code changes here, okay, some method argument change, some logic change, okay, and then they have run all the automation test case. If my changes are breaking any other test cases or not, if all cases pass, developer bit confidence, yes, that means ki all my previous test cases working, this means my impact any other
Right.
module, right? So this is reduce the maintenance cost of your application. If there is no test cases and I change something, the new developer how realize ki my changes are not impacting any other module, any other functionality, right? That means they have to go check all and every functionality it's work or not, right?
Right.
But we have already test coverage, already been invited. Just click hey, run all test cases. And after couple of seconds, couple of minutes, I can review my test report. If something fail, I can go and check the impacted module. Why they are failing? Okay, this module also required some changes or not, right? Might be
Right.
I'm changing something incorrect logic.
Right.
So purpose of the unit test case is that we maintain one level of quality. This help us your code maintainability phase. You can deliver the new requirement change, any defect change as early to the customer because
Right.
your testing time also increase, no unit test case, and customer testing also increase until the particular software is not tested by the customer and tested by your software engineer team. How you can deliver to those changes in the customer environment or production, right? So before releasing any change in a production, we have to run these test cases. and we have to submit the report. These all test cases pass, all test cases are failed. Which are failing? Why are failing? Right?
Right.
The purpose of unit test case is that in to improve, increase the code maintainability, code quality, right? So this is known as a unit test cases is the non-functional requirement, right? The customer always say ki, this is my requirement. They not customer not saying ki, you can write the unit test case or test cases. No, they say this is my requirement. You deliver the software. As a software engineering teams, our responsibility we have to develop the software as well as the unit test two modules. So sometime this is known as a non-functional requirement as well as. This is the inherited capability of a software delivery team. While writing unit test case, you have to invest some time, right? They take a time. While going to estimate your software delivery cost, we have to maintain this time take to the development time, this such time take to the my unit test times. And overall estimation, I can say, hey customer, such times required to deliver this software. So generally, customer always give the requirement, and as a delivery team, software engineering team, we can implement the customer requirement as well as implement the non-customer requirement. The unit test case is the non-functional requirement. Customer not saying you write the JUnit, right? So there
Yeah.
are lots of non-functional requirement in the software engineering phases, like unit test case, like the performance test, like the corner cases, like the environmental test, right? Like the integration test, like the automation test case, right? All are the things are the invisible, or you can say non-requirement, non-requirement, non-performance thing, right? Customer not saying to you, right? You have to show customer how to customer believe on you. You have to not uh, giving some extra, like say, hey, whatever I deliver you, this is my test case, this is my automation test case, this is my outcome of the my application, right? This customer rely on you. It will help, yes, you are delivering the one level of quality of application, the code. So these things are the non-functional requirement, and these help customer to believe on the software quality, rely on the business logic what we implemented. Is it clear what is unit test case? Any doubt?
So
Are you saying something?
yeah. So you mentioned about regression testing,
Yes.
but so they all are testing, but they
All.
all different
uh,
different purpose, different
yes.
thing. Like
uh,
regression is one thing, one is
uh,
performance, one is
uh. I'm
uh,
saying all is the you can say कि ना non NFR कह सकते हैं, non functional requirement things.
and what is non-functional means?
Non functional means customer say कि I want payment system, just right.
Hmm.
So just say this is the customer requirement. Customer want, you can just pay one, deliver one software that support the payment system, right?
Okay.
Customer not say कि you write the automation test case, you write the unit test case, you write the performance test case, deliver the status, right? No,
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
all
I see.
other things as an engineering team we have to do. Not
Oh,
only
as a,
deliver the build the software payment system, but apart from that, we have to write the unit test case, automation test case, integration test case, performance test. So these are the things we have to do. Log in, log out, security, authentication, authorization, right?
oh, so this is something that is a part of we all have to do. It's not like customer tells us to do.
Yeah, customer don't tell you. This is not a part of requirement. But as a software engineer teams, You have to offer these things by default. Due to that, second is
Mm,
the non-functional requirement thing. The unit test is the one of the non-functional requirement thing.
I see.
So non-functional requirement thing, lots of things we have discussed. Like unit, the unit test case is the one of things, right?
But in IT job field, there is a position called QA. Is there a
Yeah.
different thing? That's a different thing. This
Yes.
is
QA
different.
is a QA can be quality. QA means quality assurance. Whatever you software developing, someone going to verify. A
Okay, okay.
verification can be multiple way. Verification from the manually, right? The someone manual QA, right? Manually they are opening the browser, typing the input, getting the request, verify the response. This is the manual tester or manual QA. Someone the automation test case, right? They are
Mm,
writing some script, Postman script, JUnit script, clause. Just run the test and verify your outcome. Yeah, all the test cases are passing or not, right? So all come under the QA. Whatever they're doing testing come under the QA. QA means quality assurance of your software, right?
okay, I see, I see. Mhm.
QA is means ki whatever the engineering team develops software, you have to verify, you have to test it is meeting the customer requirement or not. If meet, that's a hey. So who checking, who verifying? Maybe verify from the human as a human person, that is known as a QA automation engineer, as a manual tester, right? A same thing, same verification can be done from the code, like a uh, automation test case, integration test case, regression test case, performance test case, all are done from the code, right? From the tool, some tool, right? Just click, hey, test it. And they are going to check all the functionality. Thousands of functionality you develop, thousands of functionality are going to test automatically, not by the human intervention, right? So QA can be both automation or manual. Automation means done by some scripting, done by some tool.
Right,
Don't any human is specific going to sit and test all the functionality, right?
right, right.
So nowadays, company are generally focusing on the automation side. They want all the software we deliver, all the software we modify, all the requirement we are implementing, all is verified from my the software itself. Automated tested automation test case must be there, right? This will reduce the human effort, human usability, right?
Okay. So, uh, yeah, so that's automation. So that's where the unit testing comes into
Right.
play.
So all are come under the just QA. Similar QA, the one position that means they are going to just verify, testing your the software. Uh, 10 year, 1 year, 2 decade ago, you can talk. Just test QA means ki one specific physical human manual human required to test your application, right? At that time, we are not more focusing on the automation test. But now, today era, all the development engineering are follow the automation test case route. They
Okay.
are
So
heavily
that's
heavily rely on the software code. They are not human can be make mistakes. They request something and they are not verify each and every field the response, right? May have verify one two fields they are getting response. They say it's okay, it's pass, right? Might be your one API response thousands field, right? There might be one manual tester can verify 10 or 20 field. Hey, as per requirement, we get response this, we get response this, we get response this. And other part they maybe skip, right? Maybe due to time crunches, maybe the laziness, anything, right? But these things not happen with the automation test case. Automation test case, we have written each and everything, right? And say, hey, this test case run for the 10 different input and 10 100 times, right?
Right.
Our code can do. So you can say as a automation test case, unit
It's
test cases,
faster. It's faster and also accurate.
accurate and lots of coverage, positive scenario, negative scenario, each and everything. So due
Mhm.
to that, nowadays software industries more and more rely on this automation test cases. Due to that, nowadays we are a specific position, a specific customer hiring for automation engineer, right?
Mhm.
It's good.
Yeah. Now it's good.
That makes sense. Why unit
Yeah.
test required? Unit test required. Generally, if you're just building a small application that for just learning, that for just for testing, that's okay. Without unit test, we can go. But whenever you think this application going to bigger and bigger and lots of year you are going to support multiple requirement come change, new advancement come, mean any modification in future want,
Right.
that times generally we follow the unit test scenario, right?
Right.
It's good.
Yeah.
So let's think how we can type. So as a we are learning as a Java unit. So for Java language, we are using the JUnit test cases, right? The JUnit, one kind of a way through which you can write to test your Java code, right? Because we are learning Java language, our responsibility, whatever the piece of code you written, that in the Java language. So who is going to test those? Java language means Java class, Java method, right? Different input, different output, right?
Mhm.
So due to that, we are generally sometimes say, hey, you know how to write the JUnits? JUnit means Java unit test for the Java language, right?
So it only support Java.
Because JUnit is Java. But unit test case is a general term. You can write unit test case for your C language, C++ language, Kotlin language, Haskell language, for all the language, right? But we are
Oh,
learning
okay.
the Java language, so we are going to test Java method, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Due to that, we can say, hey, JUnit is the unit test framework for the Java programming language, right?
Okay. It's a framework for Java language programming. So it's
Framework
unique.
means set of guidelines, set of existing
Set of
library for
guidelines.
you, right?
Yeah.
You cannot say कि JUnit just uh, one way to do your unit testing, right? It's good.
Right.
So this is the just Google to JUnit and latest version of JUnit 5. Similarly, like Java version, similarly Spring framework, similarly all the tools or technology or frameworks. After some couple of period of usage, they are release the latest version. Means ki added new functionality, maybe existing functionality can be improved, right? So similarly, currently the what today the latest version of JUnit is JUnit 5, right? Just go. This is the JUnit 5 and explore. Fifth, this is the framework testing framework for the Java and the JVM. Means ki Java runner is a Java virtual machine, right? So this is the purpose of here ki you test your application, your code from the itself another application, another code, right?
Right.
So if you notice, this is the latest release of the. So question is that if this is a framework means they have some set of code written for us, right? So where I can find those code, right?
In Maven, Maven.
Yes, right. You are correct. We are all getting from our Maven repository. Okay. So these are the latest version. You just go ahead say, hey Maven, can you give me this repository? I want to use the JUnit framework. Means they have given some set of code method for us. We can easily use and test the code, right? So this is the things, and this is our guide, user guide. You can follow, and you can first things you have to one application to test, right? until there is no application what you're going to test, right? So maybe you
Oh,
can create,
you need a software, you need application.
you need know ki which, at least write one Java code, one Java method, and test them, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, first write the code and then test them, right? Both you can do, right? Here we have follow the both approach. Okay, I say say this is the both approach, right? Maybe first write the our JUnit, right? Our test cases, right? And
Right.
after that you write our code which you want to verify, right? So let's do. First, I am going to write the JUnit, and then writing the particular. Initially, write the JUnit, it will fail, and whenever you add the particular functionality, it will pass, right? This is known as a test-driven development approach, right? So first things, let's create one basic application. So this is the guidelines. You can just go to the here, check which is the latest version here, and this is the Maven project, right? And lots of tools you have, you can just go and create the good option. You can just let's create one basic application. So notice, for creating Maven application, generally we can generally last couple of
What was
uh,
that, Amit? Yeah.
so we are going to create, hey Maven, okay, to create the application. Maven also create your project, create Maven project, okay. So here let's create one basic Maven application. Maven project means ki they have a complete structures, right? Create. I'm going to start from scratch, right? Ki how we are going to create the Maven project. Start with the basic Maven project, right? Ki how to create the Maven project. Just you have to pre-requirement. You have to install the Java and the Ambient. Already we have, right? So
Yeah.
as let me. So this is the way you can create any project. Maybe you can go IntelliJ create new project, or you can go here like Spring Data start, right? Start that go
Okay.
here. You can create the application, but surely we are not going to create this Spring project. So I'm not using this tool, right? You can use here as
Okay.
well, right?
Okay.
Maven also say you can create project. Just copy this command and new project created for you, right? And what is the project structure? Project structure means you can create your application. An application have a POM file and source file and your test file folder. So this is the basic Java-based general applications. Whenever you are writing any application, your folder one, and inside this folder you have a POM file and the source folder for writing your business logic and test folder for writing your test cases, right? So this is the basic standard, you can say, project structure. All the Java related project, generally we follow this syntax, right? They always writing the two folder, one for the main, one for the test. Main means for writing your business logic. Test means writing your test cases, right? Or you manually go create this structure for hello main, POM file, and this dependency. You can do manually, or you can simply say, hey, this is my command, you can just run and they generate the code for you, right? So let's, you can just copy this command and go to the any place where you want to generate the project. I am going to this here. Let's key, I am not any project, any place you go and just open the git bash or cmd command prompt, whatever, right? This command run in any place, right? I'm open the
Right.
cmd command prompt and notepad, let's say. So this is the command. That command just say ki what the meaning. Here say ki ambient create one. This is the your package name and class name. This is your application folder name. What you want. So here let's say I want to change here. Let's package name com.gl. This is the package name, right? GL. Notice same thing you are passing while building the here. Your group name, artifact name, demo name, right here, right passing the same thing whatever you are passing here, and which artifact like here spring boot we are passing. Similarly here say this is the my generate project, just com.gl, and my application name, let's say this is my uh, this is the my JUnit app, right? Na? JUnit project, JUnit app, right? JUnit app. So this is my JUnit. This is your folder. Means ki whatever here writing, the same folder here you can create it. This is my operator. The same folder you can create it here, right? And artifact means first quick basic start. This is the whatever the version they have and fast. Just write this line, and whenever run, our Maven create one project for you, and inside this they are created, right? So generally, you can create Maven project from this Maven website itself or IntelliJ for Eclipse. Same thing, you can do multiple approaches. Same from here. Right here, we are generating Maven project, right? Select the Maven. They generate the Maven project, right? So there are multiple way to create the project. So already we know how to create from IntelliJ. Already know how to create from this Spring.start.io. Let's also know ki this is also approach. You can just go to Maven and just create the project, right? And just copy this code and run this. Whenever I copy this is the, just change my package name and my folder name, right? And all of the basics. Just copy and just go, hey, I run here, right? And notice in the web development, though no application, no folder here. Whenever I run this command, I run it, and they will going to generate project for me. They are doing something and downloading all the requirement things and generate project for me, right? So this is the basic way you can create the application. Now this is done, and notice here my JUnit application is folder com. Inside this is the source folder. Inside source, this is the main and test. Same hierarchy they mention here, right? Cd this, and you find pom, you find source, and inside source you find a main, and inside a test, right? So same structures you can find in this my application, right? This is the my here hierarchy. Where is my this is the my name here, Ajay. Okay, this is the Ajay. Then go here, work development, web development, and now this is the find my one application, my unit inside the source.
Right.
Source I will in the source I have two files, source and pom. And if you go inside the source I have a main and test. This is the main and
Right.
test, right? The source have
Same
a
with
main
me.
and test. The
Yeah.
main is used for your testing business logic, test for the testing code. The similar
Right.
structure by default you manually create, or manually you can create, or you can just use this command line, they can generate for you, right?
Right.
So now it's done, and let's open this project in IntelliJ, right? Just open the form file in IntelliJ, right? So by default, here in this notice, I'm not passing any Java language, right? But notice we need a specific Java language. So I in the POM file I have to change, hey, because in my application in the my system Java 21, so we have not passing any work. Hey, Maven, can you create the application for the Java language 21, right? The default, let's check what they support language. Default they support. Let's check. This is the POM file, right?
Uh, Ajay bhai, just 1 minute, eh? 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So let is application loaded. Let me close it. Now no need. So here JUnits not needed. Just close it. JUnit. So we have to by default. Uh, Whenever you are creating the JUnit application, they have a like a by default compiler 1.7 and JUnit 4. These are the two dependencies they have by default added. It would be good we have to change because we are using the Java 21, and here we are going to learn Java JUnit, not the 4, but JUnit 5, because the latest versions in latest release is the Jupyter
Yeah,
5.1.
I'm back.
Yeah, so I'm saying whenever you open this project and look the POM dependency, here they mention basic your group name, your package name, your application name, right? And
Right,
here by fold application name, here notice the compiler version. So by default they are going to the Java 1.7. I am saying no, I am going to use the Java 21, right? Not
right,
7. Change here 27. Okay, I am 21, and go to the dependency they are using JUnit 4 version, but our objective we are going to study the latest version is the something Jupyter 5.10, right? You can just
I
copy
think.
them and say, hey, maybe I need this dependency. Google ambient, I need the which one? I need the this one. Oh, the latest version here you can find org Jupyter something. So here, these are the multiple they have found here, right? So this is the latest version. You can say Jupyter. So here you can say, even from here you can find out, or just go Maven and say I need the Ambient Maven for this. So what is the latest version you can find here? Jupyter API, right?
Right,
So here, this is the latest version 5.10.1, right? The same documentation say latest version is a 5.10.1. So you can say JUnit 5 is the support kind of a three dependency. One is the Jupyter, one is the vintage, and one is the platform. So any one we can use, or all we can use, a different functionality, different jars have, right? So let's
right,
go with one by one, right? Not an issue. But this JDK JUnit 5 is the come up with a lots of feature that come under the three dependency, right? Jupyter,
right.
vintage, and platform. That is the latest version. This is the latest one you can find download from here. Notice here say ki latest version this, or you can directly say, hey, this is the click here. They can find this complete repository for you. Whatever the place you have, just notice that this is the all result they find the Jupyter Maven project. They have find the multiple Jupyter engine, Jupyter parameter, and similarly they have find the Jupyter API. Lots of things they have. So whatever the latest, you can click anyone and the same thing you can, because finally this organization org JUnit the Jupyter the package they created, right? The latest version is the same like here. So anyone you can find from here or any place, right? Just copy
Right.
here and just say, hey my application, I need the not this dependency 4, I need the dependency 5, right?
Hmm.
So here you have to change you. Similarly, but good part, whatever the application you develop, you have to just add this dependency, and you can get the all the feature of your JUnit test case, right?
Right, right,
So this is the one dependency you have to consider, Jupyter dependency, right? And just after that you have to reload the application, so that now you know we are able to, this is a basic application means if you have any existing application, you can just go add this dependency, right? So now
So
let
first we go to first we go to JUnit 5 website.
uh, no, this is the dependency you can download from the Maven. I this why need the this dependency question, because we are going, you need to use this test framework JUnit. The JUnit given some kind of a code, right? Those code how my application know, right?
Hmm.
Those code we have to download somewhere. The somewhere nowadays, generally we follow the Maven repository or a different repository have. So I can say, hey, my IntelliJ, go download the required packages, required classes, required interface from Maven repository, right?
Right,
This is the only things. So these things you can go add in your application, whatever the application we did, where you can go add this, and now you can get in the uh, features of all the JUnit, right?
right,
So let's look to notice. I just source or main. This is the two, and close them. And here we have to main, and here we have to generally guidelines say whatever hierarchy you follow. This is the notice. This is our application hello main. If you run it, work fine, right? They have a say ki, hey, this is my one application hello word and test. So if this class you want to write the test cases, right? So whatever the package com.gl, similarly in the test folder, you can just create the com.gl and write the test. Notice this is the main application done. The similarly they have a whatever your class name. Similarly, you write the of class name, add the test so that this understand this is the test for my this application. This is the my business logic code, and this is corresponding your test class, right?
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So this is the naming convention. Just we have to follow ki whatever the class you are going to test. Okay, your package name, your business test case should be the same name. Just append in the last test, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Any confusion?
Okay. When I typed, I tried Maven space JUnit,
Hmm.
just like we search for reports, different dependency, right?
Ah,
I found the version
hmm. Yeah.
4.13.2.
Because that is the load wall. But if you know the JUnit website, so this is my latest release, the 5.10.0, right?
Right.
So you have to search Jupyter 5.10.0.1. Okay, this is the latest version. If you know the official website of JUnit, right?
Okay, okay, okay. I see what you mean. Okay, okay. Now
Because
I got it.
previously 4, 3, 2 were all you find. But what are the latest? Go to the official website. JUnit
JUnit.
5 is
Yeah.
the latest, right? And you
Right.
can download this version. So I follow the uh, Jupyter 5.10.1. I follow the same, right?
Right.
It's
Got it.
okay. And so question is that first things naming convention. So by default they created one application, one test cases for you. Whenever you're writing them, maybe I'm not. So don't go the existing. Let's say I'm just writing my one class. Let's move to the documentation. The question, whatever we are going to study, all come from this user guide. Go to the click here user guide, right? This is the user guide, and here each and every step mention how you write test cases, right?
Right.
The some whatever we are going to not something any new things, and just what this documentation say, and the same thing we in our software in development life cycle we follow. So you have an option, you can download in the PDF file or just read it. So notice here mention JUnit 5, JUnit 5. What is the JUnit 5 is the combinations of these three, right? JUnit platform, JUnit Jupyter, JUnit vintage, right? You can say whenever you're reading JUnit 5, sometime different jar you required, right? You can
Right.
just go to the and good part you can create this JUnit application from the your IntelliJ or Eclipse or NetBeans or Visual Studio, whatever the you can say tool ID you are using, right? And similarly, this JUnit test cases you can written from the grade look like a Maven, similarly grader, similarly, and these are the different kind of build tools. Any tool you
Right.
can use, right? So generally we are
Right.
using the Maven. Similarly, some application are using grader, some application using the Ant, right? Anyone JUnit work for everywhere, right?
Right.
And these are the some basic things, just go through it. I'm not going to read each and everything, but simple thing, how to write the test cases, simple, right? How to write the test something. Example, basic test case, they have written one class calculator and calculator test, how to do, right? So just example, let's do here. I am going to write one class calculator, same example, right? Calculator, this is the one my class. This class don't have anything, right? Don't have a method.
Right.
So when you're writing class, the same time you have to write, I write to one test classes for this. Whatever the method I'm going to write here, I am not going to test from the main method, right? I am going to test from the JUnit. Question: how write the JUnit class? The best way, just say, hey, generate, go to generate test. Notice here, generate constructor, override similarly test. Notice, just click test.
Right.
They generate test for you, and just say something. So these are the basic things. Whenever you write test case, test class follows some life cycle. What life cycle will discuss. So notice this is just I just now just create nothing, just create one. So notice whenever you say one new class created a test case, calculator test. That means this is the my business logic code calculator, and this is my corresponding test case. The test case where you written in the test folder. Notice uh, good part, whenever we are delivering our software to the customer environment, we have an option. We can deliver only this main module or the test, right? So due to that, all the test cases we are not going to mix in our main business logics. This is a separate application. Notice the separate folder. Notice the separate folder. So
Right.
all the main code written inside your main application, and all the test cases written in the test folder. This is a very demarcation. There is a no mix. You can completely write something and not write. And even when we're delivering software, whenever you are building the complete jar and sending to the customer say, hey, your jar package is very larger size. Can you reduce? So if you want, say, hey, you don't want to test, I don't build the test package. I want to give you the Java code, right? So this is the
Right.
demarcation. Always writing the test case in a different folder and business logic in the different folder, right? It's clear. So till now, any confusion? How to write the test case? Same as your business logic class name calculator. Just follow the calculator and append the test. This is the by default. If you want to multiple test, someone say use the test, right? That's your
Mhm.
preference. But this is the basic way you to write the JUnit class. What the structure? Same देखो com this class come under the package com.gl. Same package this class also come com.gl, means ki they under com folder and com.gl, right? So this is also guidelines. You write your test case class under the same package with your business logic, right?
Right.
So that in future someone can map, okay, this test case plus class for this. So this is the just naming convention, so that some new developer come in your application, they can easily guess. Okay, someone say, hey, you write the test cases for calculator classes. You can say, okay, the similar kind of they found the test calculator test Java and go add test cases here, right? It's clear. So first
Yeah.
thing that I want to, hey calculator. So this is the first things. Uh, just declare one private variable calculator, right? So whenever one test run, how to know that this is the test method or something. So by default, JUnit say you can use the annotation test. This is the one annotation test. I want to going to test. Method name would be the void. I am going to text add method test, right? Add method test. Method. Okay, add method. So here add method you want to test. So here say ki whatever the calculator class. Okay, I say hey, my input one variable x equal to let's say 10, and input y variable equal to let's say 5, and our input expected, okay, expected value equal to 15, right? Whenever I
Right.
pass this two input, right? Okay, expected value 15. So how say कि, hey, can you just calculator have a sum method somehow? Whenever I am going to call calculator dot, let's some add method. Currently there is no add method. Add method. I pass x value and y value, and I'm expecting this value would be like uh, a value would be this is the maybe just say integer actual response, right? So this is my expected response. Whenever I pass two input, I expecting 15 value. I pass through this method, I am expecting actual value should be 15. So how to verify both are equal? So for that, again, we have to use the framework help to test these two are equal, are not equal, or pass or fail something, right? So here say we are going to say uh, assertion, assert. They have a lots of method by default. Now we are taking the help of is JUnit framework. Assert true, assert false, assert array equal to lots of they have method given to us. Notice also method assert equal. Let's say I want to say assert expected plus actual, right? I am going to call this method assert my expected result. There is my stuck screen. What happened? IntelliJ now come. I say, hey, my expected result this and actual result this, right? So this is the by default we written one test. Question: whenever I run this test case are going to the fail because this calculator method don't have any add method, right? So this approach known as your test driven development means ki first I am writing a test cases, right? This is the test cases. Initially this test case compiler fails because there is no any method. So just say ki, hey compiler, just create one add method. So calculator create add method, right? Here say hey test class. If you run slowly, let's this is the calculator class have a add method just return like zero, right? Let's example, right? So notice if I run this test is going to how to run? Just go to the right click here. Yeah, right click here. They have given option to run. Notice here I'm not writing any main method. Notice there is no main method. Just this due to the JUnit class, they know ki you can run this class and just run the here. And notice whenever you run, they are to run your code and check actual and expected are your add method are successfully implemented. Okay. Okay. Existing test cases are why failing? Yes. Static. So just skip them. So I'm going to run this, and so just try to hey run this test. If you run, surely this test are fail because we have not implemented the add business logic, right? So notice here, our say test is the test cases is the fail. Notice the test cases are fail. And here say something they are not no null point exception first things. So question is that whenever my tests run, who going to create the object of my this class, right? Because calculator is the null point exception you are getting. So whenever you are run tests, I want whenever this test run, before that, this class must be initialized, right? So for that, we have an option like be, let's before our test, lots of we have option. So here, all the things, whatever here I'm going to write, here notice they have created by default hard code, right? This is one way you can create a hard coded here, and another way you can whatever things we are going to write like this test annotation from here. So let's as of now I'm just say hey create like a new calculator so that we're not getting the null point exception, right?
Right.
So let's run it. That means let's run it and test it is my test cases pass or fail. Still my test cases are fail. Say expected is the 15, actual I am getting 0. This my this test cases are failing, right? So we have to check our business logics. What we written inside my business logic, go to the calculator. This is the add method and not written anything. So we have to say, hey, they return x plus y, right? So this is the
Right.
business logic. Someone missed to write, right? So now
Right.
I implemented the business logic. This is the correct add method. So now if I run and I say, hey, run the test case, this test case must be passed because we implemented the business logic. Notice now our test cases are passed, right?
Right.
So the test driven development approach say कि first you write these test cases, right? And after that say, hey, you implement the business logic. And once business logic done, you can go and run your test. Your test must be passed, right?
Right.
Till now, any confusion? Notice here I am not writing any main method, but still I verify कि my method work fine because I know कि I passed 10 and 5 expected output would be the 15, right? So this is our actual output. This is the expected, and I can assert here, hey, it's equal or not equal, right?
Okay. What is the calculator.java, that file?
This is the calculator.java. They have only one method add, right?
Okay, okay.
This is the one method add, right?
Okay, so basically we are testing, we assume that it should give us 15.
Right. Assume now I'm say कि I know this say कि this is the my our business requirement say calculator have add function. I pass the two number, they must return the added value. I know कि I pass the 10 and 5, the output I'm expecting should be 15, right? Because I know 10 plus 5 is 15, right? The same this method implemented business logic or not, right? If they return the same output, that means कि your business logic implemented correctly. What happens? Someone go and while plus they write, someone write minus, right? So who can say this business logic correct or not? If I run my test again and it should be fail because that means I check why add method is not passing. Notice they are failing. They say I am expecting 15, but your method return a 5. Our test case fail. That means we have to look this add method. What the business logic written? Add method written a minus b. This is something I miss. Here would be plus, right?
Right.
If you change and again run the test, it should be pass, right? So what we are doing here? Here just I am testing this method, not from the main method. Notice I'm not writing here main method to test its work or not, right? I just write the test cases to test.
So there is no S out.
You can do if you want. You can do. Here in a test case, generally we are not writing S out. We just
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so this is how you write, like assert equal. So it just
as at
test
this both should be equal. And
should be
by
equal.
default, this framework give the response very nice. कि This test cases are pass or fail, right? So here you check all the test cases. My all test cases pass one, right?
So the add method, where does it get called?
This is the line,
No, no. You wrote add test and then you wrote add method.
right? I'm not written add method here. I'm just saying, hey calculator class, this class I'm going to test, right? This is a calculator class. I'm say calculator class call add method, and I pass to input, and I'm expecting this is some output, right?
Mhm.
Any confusion?
But you wrote everything in add method. It's called add. The method name is add method.
No, this is the add method test. This is just test method. Here. I'm not. Just this is a test method. This is a test method. Add test method. Okay.
Or you don't call it. It
I
doesn't
test
get called.
method. Name could be anything. Here you can give name anything. I'm saying this is add test method. Right? This is just testing. Notice here I'm not using any symbol plus. Right.
Right, right.
So let's see. I want this calculator give one more test. Add one more test required. I'm going to write one more test. Add double double it double it and test. So let's one test case. I am saying expecting I passing this, and I need one method, maybe double it and then add, right? Maybe double it and then add it. This is the one method I want, right? our requirement, your calculator return a function that double it and then add, right? They double double it and then add. Okay,
Okay, okay, I see.
this such method I want. Okay, double it and then add. So notice if I run this test case are failing because we have not developed some kind of a software, right? There is no, our test case are failing with those no such method, right? So you can say, hey, can you just add this method, because our requirement is that your calculator must support double it and the add. So what you say? You say this is my business logic. Let's say return anything, right? So here say if I go to the my test class, hey, if I run, if double of 10, double it, maybe multiply or double it, 10 plus 10, 25 plus 5, 10. It should be expected, our logic, it should be expected, right? Should be 3, right? You double up 10, 20, 5, double up 10. Answer should be 30, right? So our
Right.
test case say कि whenever I am going to pass, this method must double my input and then return me, right? So this is the requirement. Our requirement, our calculator class must support method. First, whatever the input I passing, they double it and then return the sum, right? If I run, surely my test cases are failing because I am not implemented in the business logic, right? No, notice failing because we are expecting 3, our actual method return 0, right? Because in the calculator, I have not implemented those logic, right? So I say,
Right, right.
hey, whatever the first input double it, maybe uh, a equal to x plus x, right? And
Or we can
similarly,
write this dot x,
uh,
no,
you can write,
x time 2.
you can do also, you
Hmm.
can say hey, multiply by 2. Okay, you
Yeah,
can do this way, you can do 2 say, right?
yeah,
And we can say return a plus b.
that's
So
right. Yeah,
now we are going to implementing, why? Because our test case, our requirement say we have calculator must have a one method that double input and add them, right?
right.
If I run my test, now they are running my test. Okay, notice they are passing all two test cases, right? So this is the way you are writing this test, right?
Okay, so these are easy. It's like a Java test method that
Yes,
we do.
finally in the Java, you are writing the Java method, right? You have to just
Hmm.
verify, right? Similarly, let's here this test I want would be called 10 times, right? I
Right,
want this add method for the 10 times, right?
right,
Finally, in our case, in the main method, we are writing a loop and testing the 10 number, right? A 20 number, a 100 number.
right.
So now you have to look, they have given all the annotation. This is the basic. These annotation, all the things we are going to test annotation, we are using right here, test annotation, right? Test means just testing.
Okay.
Notice. Similarly, write lots of annotation, repeated test. Notice if you write this, they are going to repeat your test, right? This is the parameterized test. If you're writing some method take a parameter. How to do? So all this annotation, maybe some display name, some class name, display name, displaying the name something before each, after each, before all, after all are these annotations we have. So what this means? Let's see before each. Notice here we have a two test, right? We have a two
Right,
tests. And whenever I run this test and this test, for both I currently what happened? The same object this class are going to use, right? I want know for each test cases, new object would be created. Don't create the same object for here, same object for here, right? The
Right.
whole I am going to say, hey, you can use this annotation before each. Say, hey, here say I'm going to know. I'm not going to initialize this for all. I'm say, hey, before before each. There are two kind of annotation. For each test you want to create something or just for all. Now we have both options, right? Let's say I
Hmm.
want for each. For each and just say void let's say setup, okay? Yeah, initialize collect object, right? Initialize initialize calculator, okay? And here say key whenever each test case run, I'm just going to say here it should be like here. Okay, and here that and here I just say null. Okay. So now notice whenever this test case run, this line executed. Whenever this test case run, this line executed. So for
Right.
each test cases, this is a different line run, right?
Right.
The sometime you are creating object with a specific value input you can change for each test case have different input might be right. So let's write s out. So here notice this will invoke for each and everything, right? Just for verification you can test this method is invoked. I run this would be called two times, first for this cases and first for this test cases, right? Let's run it. So notice they are called two times. Notice because you have two test cases for this test case, right? For
Right.
some time you want some code must be executed for each test cases, before and after, right? Let's key want to similarly key once this test cases are done, this object should be not required, right? This should be null, right?
Right.
So you can
Right.
say, hey, after af, after each, after each, just avoid cleanup, okay? Hey, this is my after each. I am going to not initialize, just clean up. I say, hey, after each, it should be like a null. I'm not want to just clean up my memory, right? So this is the basic, you can say, thing. Sometime you can say each test cases are run independently. If this test case run, then before you are doing something, I want to run this code, and once this test case is done, after that I want to run this line, right? Cleanup. So whenever you run, sometime this infrastructure help us to run your code before and after something. All two test cases passing. Notice this is add one. This is the done initialization and cleanup. For this test case also initialization and cleanup, right? So sometime you want whenever I am running this test case before something happen and after something happen, right? So you will do this is the syntax, right? This is syntax before each and this is the after each, right?
Right.
And my question, let's key I want to test my add method. Let's one more test cases. Okay, let's key I am going to one test, okay, and void and just test add method, add method, okay, add method. Let's I want to add two times, three times. So I say let's key not a hard coded value. I want to not the hard coded value, some random number, right? So let's say hey, uh, here integer, just create one random object, right? Random equal to new random, okay, random, and here say x equal to random dot next int, right? And similarly, let's y, okay, y and integer our expected equal to x plus y, right? This is my expected, right? and it should be actual. Actual would be just call the add method, right?
Mhm.
And here say after that let's both should be equal. So here I'm let's in this method go to the add method and just write the output what x and y, right?
Right.
X and plus y equal to plus y. Okay, just print the log. And this is my test. Whenever I am running this, they are passing the two random number and they are plus expecting the output this, and our method also return the same, right? If I run this and I notice they are passing my test with a different input, not only 10 and 5. Notice they have a x input this and y input this. We are getting the our test cases pass, right? So I want this test case run for the 10 times. Just say here, hey, repeat, repeat test. I want to 10 times, right? So these methods are going to call 10 times, right? Is it clear? Let's run and test. So now I'm not going to say ki this test run 10. This is going to for you 10 times. Notice this test is run at 10 times. And for each test have a different input, different output, right?
Right.
Right. So I am trying to say our test cases just have a only one method, this method. I am testing different possible scenario, right?
Right.
So this is
But
the you can
our test has only one method, add.
huh, our business logic have a only one method, right? Add, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
this can test from the one input, two input, 10 input, right? Many times. Because as of now, this business logic is very simple, but whenever we're writing the complex logic, multiple input have a multiple behavior, right?
Mm.
So due to that, we are going to write multiple test cases for one method. Whenever you're writing one business logic and main method, you can test for one input, for two input, for the different input, right? So this is the o- way you are writing the test cases, right?
Right.
Till now, any confusion? How to write the test cases or unit tests? Very simple. Just you want to test which class, just create one test cases, and this test have a multiple method. For each method, you have to write a test cases, right? This is
Right.
the add test cases. This is double it test cases, right?
Right.
And if you want to run, you can run. And good part, this test cases, test classes automatically run when you build a compile. Manually don't need to run here, right? So whatever here for testing purpose, we are writing manually test, but this code we can run automatically when the our software is going to the build and package it, right? And if any test cases are failing, they report the success or failure report, right?
Right.
Any doubt, any confusion?
Got it.
So slowly we're going to learn all the annotation. And good thing, whatever the for writing test cases required, this documentation cover each and everything. Just patiently we have to read, and whatever we are doing, nothing extra we are doing. Whatever the JUnit framework supported, the same thing you can do, right? We cannot write any extra logic, right? Just what
Right.
framework supported, same you can test, right? And they have a well documentation. Good part, they have given some example as well, right? What example, how
Right.
to write, how to test, right? Like here we test na before all, after each, right? They have
Right. Right.
given some example, test and repeating. Some you can have also some display, some test case you want to enable, disable, lots of things. Display enable. What is the meaning of display name annotation? You can give the some special name like here display name. Here you can also use like here say, hey, this is the display name. Display name, right? Here say uh, test cases for calculator class. Okay. Okay, and just write, and if you run here, so notice in the output you can get this name, display name here, right? This is the nice, right, nice here. This is the right,
Oh
and we,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so lots of annotation they are give us here, right? And just slowly, each method you can give what the method display name would be, right? What the method you can give the display name. Sometime you are lots of later part we'll discuss, but lots of documentation give they have give how to do, how to test, right? They have a good part, they have a given example for us, just we have to read it and do it, read it and do it, right?
Right,
Okay, till now any question how to write the test class, where test class go, how to run tests, and these are the basic things. So later classes we are going to add some more methods, and we are going to add more test cases, understand how we are going to test all the scenario, right?
right.
Okay. So till now understand each and every test cases is run, and if you want to more detail, this is they test run 10 times, they test one time, they test one time, right? All the details. If any something pass fail, you are getting error. Yeah, this is a fail, right?
Right,
And good part is that whatever just you written this code, right? Developer just write this case, all the scenario, right? And don't do who will going to run this test, you don't worry. Whenever this complete application going to the build, going to the package, they are run your test cases, right? Manually don't
right,
need to run, and they run all the number of test cases written, right?
right.
Which are failing, passing, they report us. It's good.
Yeah.
Any doubt, any question, anything?
No, it's clear.
That's good.
It's clear. Our objective is clear.
Huh. So some classes we are going to test and run how it's work, right?
Hmm.
So notice here, okay. Anything for today, and later part we'll discuss more.
Good.
So let's explore. We can lots of things this framework given, because simply we have written only one method, right? And one
Right,
here depend upon your method, business logic, depend upon the what kind of condition you rated, division, multiplications. Sometimes your method throw exception, right? So how to test those scenario? All the
we can also use multi-threading.
you can use everything you can test.
You can test everything. Okay.
Now rest endpoint, everything you can test. Different framework, different things. Generally, all the basic your Java code and methods, JUnit is sufficient to test, right?
Right,
Similarly, we are going to test some REST API, something we have a different framework we have to use, right? So for testing, there are lots of framework available to write your test cases, right?
right,
So slowly we have to not cover each and everything, but some parts slowly we have to cover how to test, how to run, right?
right.
Good part, right? So let's do practice, and if any, but surely couple of classes we have to discuss to cover everything, right?
Right.
It will take some time, right?
Sky.
Okay, that for day.
Thank you.
Thank you.